Hey, what's up guys? I'm KBHD here. I'm back, and this is the Sony NEX VG20. Let's take a look. If I had to describe this camera in just a few words, it would be the one that breaks all the rules. Think of it as a high-end DSLR and a high-end camcorder put together in one. Basically, it's a high-end DSLR sensor from Sony in a camcorder's body, but with a DSLR mount that has interchangeable DSLR-like lenses that are adapted for camcorder-like video. It's a crazy combination, and I totally love it. This particular lens here is one of my favorites from Sony. It's the 18 to 200mm zoom lens that shoots at f3.5 at its widest focal length, and it has a focus ring and a zoom ring just like a regular DSLR lens, so check it out, it gets pretty massive at 200mm, but the autofocus here is present and it's incredible, but we'll get to that in a second. Either way, up top is a very impressive microphone. Usually the built-in camcorder microphones are just terrible, but this one goes above and beyond anything you'll find on other camcorders. It records in Dolby 5.1 channel surround sound, and it does a great job at it too. The rest of the hardware is pretty self-explanatory. On the back, you have your on-off switch and your record button and the battery. And up top is an alternative pinky record button and a photo button to take 16 megapixel stills. Yes, 16 megapixel good-looking still photos. That's just due to the awesome DSLR sensor at work. That's absolutely awesome for a camcorder. Battery life with the stock 2060 milliamp hour battery was decent. I got around 2 hours of record time with it, and just overall build quality was rock solid, and you'd expect that from a camera this price. You have your headphone jack for monitoring audio here, USB I/O, HDMI, the whole works. It's really nice. And also the material that the outside shell is made of is pretty awesome too. And you can't forget that flip out 3-inch touchscreen LCD screen. It has a pretty basic menu system and a single SD card slot next to the manual controls. Would have liked to see 2 here or maybe a CF card, but I guess 1 SD card slot is fine. But when it comes down to it, you buy a camera for the video quality, and like I said at the beginning, this camera is ridiculous. It's a boss. It breaks all the rules. It has sharp autofocus and DSLR depth of field. It blew my mind. It just doesn't make any sense. Now there are also adapters that let you use this with Canon and Nikon lenses and other Sony alpha lenses, but I'm just going to show you guys the footage I took with this stock 18 to 200mm lens. So this is the Canon T2i that I'm using to record this right now, and it's a crop sensor body at an equivalent of 48mm. That's the focal length. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and switch to the VG20. Indoors, you don't really get a whole great sense of how capable this camera is. If I hold something up to the camera, you can see the focus. The main point of the focus is that it's pretty average, but it's very, very tack sharp. So it's not fast, but it's really, really sharp. But indoor footage, like I said, doesn't really take the most advantage of this camera. So what we're going to do is show you what it's capable of outdoors, and just note as you're watching this footage that this is all autofocusing on its own. That's the beauty of this camera. It has a large sensor from a DSLR combined with the focus of a regular camcorder, and it's basically like having autofocus for video on a 5D Mark III. It's absurd. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Check this out, guys. This is beautifully sharp video outdoors. Everything in focus is really, really sharp, and it's not even sunny. And even more beautiful is this super soft bokeh you get in the background. You don't get that softness in the background from a regular camcorder. You just don't get that. Now that is the DSLR sensor really working. Now I know what you're thinking. Wow, MKBHD, this is just general, typical footage from a random object. Did you actually use this camera? Well, yes. If you were following me on Twitter at the link in the description right below the like button on this video, you'll know that I have footage from an entire weekend of shooting outdoors in Wisconsin. Enjoy.
To Marquez. The score. Score is now 2-1 Stevens.
So overall, I clearly love this camera, and you can give a thumbs up on this video if you like it too. Otherwise, the microphone is really impressive, the handle is really convenient, the eyepiece is really adjustable, the LCD, the touchscreen is awesome. I really like this camera, and there hasn't been anything to stop me from buying one. So yeah, just note that I really like it, and you may too. Either way, thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope it was enjoyable to you guys. If you want to check out the audio that I used, the links to that are in the description, and there's a link to check out the VG20 in the description. I'm going to put this down, and I'll go ahead and sign off now. Talk to you guys later. Peace.
Back to Mason. Here he goes.
John Lee, what?
Oh, John. To John Lee. Great snag.
To get God! If that board is good!
And the jam!